Towing service can I help you.
Hi, quick question. I'm working on a project, and I'm reading all these headlines about like repo rates like increasing and skyrocketing because of stimulus checks and all that. I live in the area. I just wanted to see if you guys are seeing a spike as well.
Well, we don't do repossessions. We're private, so we do private towing. We do not do repossessions.
Oh, it's just towing? Okay.
I'm sitting with a guy that does do them. You can ask him those questions. Hold on.
Okay.
He is a repo agent.
Thank you.
Actually,
Hi, quick question, sir. I know this is random, but I'm working on a project right now, and I'm seeing like all these headlines that are like, repo rates are skyrocketing, this and this. I live in the area. I was just trying to get a quick gut check. Are you seeing that, and is that the case?
Yeah, well, because of fuel cost, that's why. So usually everybody's jumping their prices about $50 a unit now because of fuel costs.
So you think because of like inflation and other areas of life, people can't afford the payment on the car note that they created, right?
I don't know about that, but yeah, I would imagine that because we're getting orders through the roof right now. It's crazy. Usually this is our slow time, and we can't even keep up with all the orders that are coming in for repossessions. So, are you a survey guy, or what are you?
No, I work in finance, and I was actually doing research because usually these things are like a leading indicator of a recession, and when people started getting their cars, wow, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
You can thank the current administration for that. So, and the problem is it's costing all the repo companies dipping into all their net profit because the fuel costs are just outrageous right now. It's just crazy.
Yeah, to actually get the cars and take them to the tow yard and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Right,
Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco, and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the auto loan bubble just popped. We're talking about a $1.4 trillion industry, and it is essentially a ticking time bomb as we speak. So this is a presentation that my research analyst and I put together. My research analyst is Joe Consorti. If you don't know Joe, go follow him on Twitter. His work is excellent. So let's talk about what's going on right now. So the first indicator are auto repos, repossessions, and these are exploding. So car repos are exploding, and that's a bad sign. This article just came out a couple days ago, and it's essentially talking about how loan-to-value ratios, or the amount of money financed relative to the value of the vehicle, is around 140% versus typically an 80% scenario. So we're seeing this in the caption down here. If you can't see that, this is crazy, you guys. This is basically showing the entire $1.42 trillion auto loan debt market, and you can see since basically 2010, we were sitting at 0.7 trillion. Fast forward essentially 11 or 10 years later, we're sitting at double that, 1.42 trillion. So why is that? So this basically doubled in 10 years, making it the third largest consumer credit market in the world. Interest rates have skyrocketed as high as 25% APY, that's annual percentage per year, and then Americans are definitely overpaying for cars. So we're seeing 46% of loans being underwater. This means that people owe more than the car is actually worth. So this is a figure showing why this is happening. Okay, so new loans skyrocketed after rounds of stimulus. So if you take a look at this, this is basically showing you quarterly numbers in billions of dollars. So you can see here every 4 little steps is 1 year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, new year. 1, 2, 3, 4, new year, et cetera, et cetera. So this has typically been around $180 billion. You can see sometimes it's a little bit lower, sometimes it's right on line, sometimes it's lower because of Cerveza. However, after the money printing and after stimulus, you can see that these exploded to $40 billion more typically per quarter. If you look at these numbers coming from Q2 of 2021. So why is this? So fiscal stimulus allowed people to borrow above and beyond their actual income would allow. They're using too much leverage, aka too much debt. So lenders are feeling comfortable lending at extremely high loan to values based on the amount of money people are putting down versus what the car is worth, based on borrowers' stimulus inflated income. Okay, so inflation has now pushed monthly expenses up, and that car loan made possible by stimulus is becoming too expensive to bear. So let's take a look at credit worthiness and how we define basically subprime all the way to super prime, if you will. So if you look at this category, this is your credit score. If you look at this, this is the category in which you sit in. And then you can see the average loan rate for a new car purchase is anywhere from 2.47 if you're super prime, all the way down to 12.53 if you're subprime. And then also for used cars, obviously it's a used vehicle, so it's going to be a little bit more risky to the lender. So interest rates are going to be higher. So you have 3.61 for super prime, almost 20% for deep subprime. So the average credit of borrowers has declined, which creates a higher risk for default, meaning they can't repay the loan. So every 1% increase in the loan rate causes a 3% rise in the monthly payment of the vehicle. And cheap credit essentially propped up this auto market during the pandemic. So what's going on right now? This is the meat of the presentation. So we are entering an automotive recession. So what is going on? So stimulus spenders have financed themselves into a corner, with 1 in 12 Americans more than 90 days late on a car payment. And not only that, car prices have accelerated. So we're seeing almost $1,800 in 2019, $3,300 in 2020, and $6,200 in 2021. That is a 25% increase in just 3 years. So what is going to happen now? What is the point of this video? So demand destruction is imminent, meaning people will not be able to afford newer or used cars because prices and rates are both prohibitively high, with inflation making everything else more expensive, such as groceries and day-to-day living. So buyers are getting exhausted and defaults will continue. We're going to get into a really cool chart here in just a second, but the sponsor of this video is Policygenius, and here's a few words from them. Mortgage payments, private student loans, and other types of debt don't just disappear if something happens to you. A life insurance policy can provide your loved ones with a financial cushion they can use to cover these costs, and it can also provide you with peace of mind that even in a worst-case scenario, they'll be protected. Typically, life insurance gets more expensive as you get older, so it's smart to get a policy sooner rather than later. Policygenius is an insurance comparison website that makes it easy to compare quotes from top companies like AIG and Prudential, all in one place to find your lowest price. Getting started is simple. Just click the link in the description or head to policygenius.com/whiteboardfinance and answer a few questions about yourself. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policygenius. Their team of licensed experts will help you understand your options and ensure you apply for the right policy. Policygenius works for you, not the insurance companies. They're on hand through the entire process to help you understand your options so you can make decisions with confidence. When you're ready to apply, the Policygenius team will handle the paperwork and scheduling for free. Head to policygenius.com/whiteboardfinance to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. So this is good news for the potential buyer. You just have to be a little bit patient here. So car prices will roll over. So we're sitting at near all-time highs for new and used automobile prices at $46,500 and $30,800 for used, respectively. An estimated monthly payment has risen to a record of $712 per month. That used to be a good mortgage, okay? That used to be a healthy mortgage. Now that's a car payment. You are literally driving around your mortgage on your four wheels. So as rates rise and defaults ensue, eventually car prices will go down as well. So if you look at this chart, we have on the y-axis the price in dollars. On the x-axis, we have time. You can see we're starting in July of 2019. And basically, this is the index price, okay? So you have the first COVID stimulus hitting right around right here, and you can see what happened to prices. Yes, some of this was due to logistics. Yes, some of this was due to chip shortages. I have a video about this. I made it about a year ago. Now that chip shortages are starting to not exist as much as they did back then when prices were going crazy, we're going to start to see an equilibrium over here in this chart. So the next slide is going to be talking about affordability with defaults to follow. So car affordability has exploded to 41.3 weeks of income. So this is bad credit being pervasive in the car industry. We're seeing subprime defaults mooning to a record 8.5%. Since the cars are the collateral, meaning what they're putting up if you can't make your payments, repos have skyrocketed as well. I used to sell cars, you guys. I knew all the buy here, pay here lots. It's people that have really bad credit. You know, they'll take the car and basically default on it and get it repoed, and that dealer just keeps churning that same car over and over again. So you can see here, this is Cox Automotive and Moody's Analytics. This is the Vehicle Affordability Index. We're starting over here in January of 2012, and it's been relatively flat for about 9 years or so. And then once you get up into the chart that we just saw from the previous slide, you can see here that it's about 41.3 weeks of income as opposed to a historical low to mid-30s, as you can see right here. So this is a chart from KPMG. This is talking about fixing supply constraints and when prices will start to come down. So semiconductors and other key suppliers are being made more available, as I just mentioned. Same thing with the stuff that I talked about in my previous video with semiconductors and all the chip shortages. Demand growth is slowing, so this also gives supply time to catch up. So what we're going to see here, and why you're watching this video, is prices will reach a new lower equilibrium from Q4 later this year to basically Q4 of later next year. So you can see here in this dark blue high supply, low demand scenario, we're looking at October of 2022. If we're looking at a high supply, high demand scenario, we're looking at basically Q1 of 2023. If we're looking at a low supply, low demand scenario, which is purple, we're looking at middle of the year 2023, Q2, if you will. And then the low supply, high demand scenario, we're pushing it all the way out to Q4 2023. That's when the estimated new car shortage will start to go back to zero, if that makes sense, to equilibrium. So this slide is talking about how used car prices will ultimately converge with new car prices. So we're looking at on the y-axis, this is the percentage change. On the x-axis, this is just time. You can see here the blue line is the new car index actual. The blue dotted line is the new car index assuming a 6% inflation forecast. The dotted light blue line is the new car index with 4% deflation. And the purple line is the used car index in general. So if we look at the used and new car index, new cars have gone up 11.6%, okay, as time went on from 2020 to 2021. We're seeing a projection of 19.6% if there is a 6% inflation indeed forecasted. And then we're looking at a 6.9% increase if there is a 4% deflation, okay? And then used cars, if you're in the market for a used car, we saw skyrocketing prices of 42.4% in October of 2021. And then we're looking at these scenarios over time. It basically just depends on supply and demand at that point. But what this chart is trying to say is at some point there may be, you know, a rebalancing or converging back with new car prices. Okay, so as always in my videos, I try to bring a positive out of something that is perceived to be negative. So how can you position yourself? So we're going to play some defense here. Number one is common sense. Make sure you can service all of your debt. So Gen Z and millennials have a 2% chance of defaulting on their auto loans in the current environment. This is from NBC News. Number two is make a large down payment to lower your monthly payments. In an inflationary environment, having good debt makes sense. If you're getting these car loans for 0% or 0.9%, obviously putting down a large down payment may not make sense. But if it is something like 4, 5, 6%, or like on a used car, if you will, where you saw the interest rates were higher, putting a larger down payment will help you avoid unmanageable monthly payments, even at a high loan rate. Number three is wait to buy. We just saw in the last two charts that prices will come back down to normal. With prices reaching their peak, wait until they roll over to make a new or used vehicle purchase. So you may end up with a higher rate, but a killer deal on a car which you can finance much sooner. And then number four is patience. I think, and my research analysts and I think, based on what we've done, a recession sale is coming. Give it about 12 to 24 months as we saw in those charts. So as always, here are my thoughts. So number one, Americans love to keep up with the Joneses. American consumerism really is a rampant disease. Everyone's on social media seeing, Melanie got the new Kia Telluride. Stephanie got the new Nissan Rogue. She got the new this. They got the new that. Guys, turn off your phone. Forget social media. The only thing you should be using your phone for is to watch Whiteboard Finance. No, all joking aside, stop keeping up with the Joneses, okay? I'm seeing so many people drive cars that I know they can't afford. I know how much people make, okay? Based on their job title, I have an idea of how much they make, and they're driving way nicer cars than I am, and I make significantly more money than them. I'm not judgmental. That's their choice. That's fine. I am a car guy, but don't do it just to do it. Don't do it just to keep up with the Joneses, if that makes sense. Number two is everything is too expensive now. So as we mentioned earlier in the slides, with inflation raising the prices of everything, such as gas, such as groceries, such as everyday consumer staples for the middle class, that high car payment that you thought you could afford because of the stimulus checks and things like that is now obviously becoming unaffordable. So not only is the price of cars going up, as we saw in this presentation, the price of everything is going up. Number three, I mentioned this in my last video in the everything bubble, which you should go watch if you haven't already. Everything is related to jobs and the stability of income. So right now, people can service this debt. They can service their high car payment. They can service, the increase in prices of CPI, of everyday staples, of the consumer price index. They can manage. They can live paycheck to paycheck and manage. The second these bubbles pop are when people lose their jobs, when they lose their income, and then they have to scramble and do side jobs, maybe like a side gig or the delivery economy with delivering pizzas or Ubers or whatever. This is what happened in 2008. There were CEOs literally delivering Domino's pizzas, right? So as long as people have a stable income, this isn't going to be a huge problem, but we are seeing an increase in the repos and we are seeing an increase in other areas of this car market. So I'm getting a million DMs. Maybe I'll share a few screenshots here right now, but people are telling me they're seeing way more inventory on auctions. There's a guy that follows me on Instagram. He runs a repo tow truck, and he's saying like repos are through the roof right now. This is just anecdotal evidence, but we are seeing it nationwide, if you will, based on the research that I've done. So this is always a leading indicator. It's not a lagging indicator. So this tells me that things are going to get a little bit worse, because once people start having their cars repoed, stuff is going to hit the fan later on down the road in other aspects. Again, it all boils down to having a stable income and having a job. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Give my research analyst a follow on Twitter, Joe Consorti. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you are missing out. It is WhiteboardFin, F-I-N. And then on Instagram, Whiteboard Finance, one word, spelled correctly. There's a lot of scammers out there. Also in the comments section, I will never sell you, a crypto scam. I'll never ask you to reach out to me on WhatsApp. None of that stuff. So just have some common sense, you guys. Thank you so much. Share the video. Watch the channel. Give it a like. Give it a thumbs up. We put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a prosperous day. Okay, so I'm calling a random repo company in my area. I've never spoken to these people before.
Cover, can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. Quick question. I'm working on a project, and it has to do with like nationwide repos increasing. I actually live in the area, so I was just calling to get a gut check. Are you guys seeing like an increase in repos at all in your business?
I'm not interested in that conversation. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. Damn, Daniel. She straight up shut me down, dude. Hold on. Let me call another one. Let's call these dudes. Not interested in that conversation. Damn. Okay. Sorry, Sally.